What game are you most looking forward to from your backlog list? Game I'm most looking forward to from my backlog. It's a game that I've actually already played through, so I don't know if this counts because it's in my review backlog, but it's not in my playing backlog. The game that I most want to review right now is Chrono Cross. And I'm not just saying that because we have Chrono music playing right now. This game was a huge favorite of mine, and it was one that I would constantly play through. I really want to play it again. It's been over 6 years since I played it, since all the games that I've played I have been reviewing, and I'd really like to revisit it at some point. The only thing that kind of makes me want to not do that so much is the fact that in order to get to it, I feel like I'm obligated to review Chrono Trigger first. And I love Chrono Trigger. But the problem with Chrono Trigger as a reviewer is that what is there left? What can I possibly bring to the table to say about Chrono Trigger that hasn't already been said 1,000 times already? And it's a little intimidating to approach talking about this god tier RPG and try to do it justice, because this is one that I did experience in my childhood, that did grab me, emotionally, and my imagination just ran wild with the game. It was definitely a really important game to me, so I want to do it justice, not just for you guys, but also for myself. And anyways, it's daunting, but I do want to review Chrono Cross from my backlog. Nixu says, you mentioned Phantasy Star 1. Did I try the Sega Ages version? No, I streamed it on my Sega Master System. I actually have a Master System. Oh, that's right. So one of the other games that I'm really looking forward to that's in my backlog is Golden Axe Warrior, which I also got with my Master System. It's basically the Master System Zelda clone, and I really want to give that a shot at some point. Which unreleased games am I most excited about? Grand Blue Fantasy Relink looks amazing. From the gameplay, it looks kind of Ys-ish. Oh yeah, Ys 9 looks also really good. Here's a question from Pimpzilla. What Japanese-only RPG would I most like to be able to play in English? That's a interesting question, because I feel like the teams of fan translators out there have been doing amazing work. So I feel like there's not many games that I want to play that I don't already have the ability to play in English. I think that there's a fan translation project that's currently ongoing right now that I would like to play when it's done, for Persona 2 Eternal Punishment on PSP. That would be really nice, I think, to be able to play that in English. But, that's just gonna take some time. But otherwise, yeah. Eternal Punishment PSP. Mother 3, easy. Yeah, Mother 3's already got its fan translation by Tomato. You can go play that right now. You don't have to waste a wish on that one, man. Do you ever think we'll get another entry in the Chrono series? Is it far too gone? So whenever this sort of question gets raised, of course I want to see another Chrono game. But do I think that we'll ever get to? Maybe. But I wouldn't get my hopes up, especially if they announce one. I still wouldn't get my hopes up. Like, same with Suikoden. At this point, do I trust these companies to still have what it takes to make a top-tier RPG worthy of the series that it would belong to? Or would it be Breath of Fire 6 all over again? Quite possibly the latter. So, be careful what you wish for. Somebody asked, what is my opinion on special editions, such as Persona 5, the Royal Edition, and the special edition of Dragon Quest XI. That's kind of an interesting question because I feel like special editions are kind of two different things at this point. You have the remasters with additional content as a special edition, but then you also sometimes just have like collector's editions that don't really come with anything extra in the game, but they have some like feelies that are pretty cool. I like the special editions that are worthwhile. The steelbook case kind of editions, while neat, I feel like they leave something to be desired, all in all. I like the ones that come with feelies, though. Like when my Take Your Heart edition of Persona 5, for instance, came with, a little Morgana plushie and a bag that you could carry stuff in. I think those are pretty cool. Lunar, the Lunar Silver Star Story Complete and Eternal Blue Complete that had like the necklace and the cloth map. I thought those were super cool. I like those a lot. And then as for like the remastered versions that have additional content, as long as the content is substantial enough to justify a repurchase, I'm usually fine with it. I'm really, really excited for Persona 5 Royal. I think that a whole extra third of the game that they're adding on to it is going to be just mind-blowing. And and I will happily hand over another $60 for it. Yeah, Persona 5 is the best JRPG of this gen, says Yo Mom's Couch. I kind of agree. It's really probably one of the best. Yeah. I mean, and that's got some stiff competition too, though. Ys 8 was amazing. Octopath Traveler, Dragon Quest XI. I enjoyed those all. Initial Drifter Z says, "Hey Derek, have you ever played Radiata Stories?" And thank you so much for that super chat, sir. No, I have not yet played Radiata Stories, and I want to. I hear so many good things about this. Do you think you'll ever play Cosmic Star Heroine? Yeah, I do think I will. At some point. I wish I could give an exact date. I really want to, though. Before I do that, though, I'm probably going to play through Shadows of Adam, which is a game by Castlemania Games. It's also on the Switch and PC right now. And that game has been in my backlog for a long, long time. So, yeah, that's probably where I'm going to go first in my indie RPG exploration. I really want to check that game out. Here, thoughts on Etrian Odyssey. Dungeon crawlers aren't really a thing that I've really gotten into yet. I think Persona 1 was my first actual dungeon crawler. I also played a little bit of Phantasy Star 1. I actually beat that. And they're okay, but they're not my favorite yet. So Etrian Odyssey, I'm not super interested in that just yet, but maybe eventually I will. The other really big problem with Etrian Odyssey is, again, it's a 3DS game or a DS game. I can't remember which, but I currently don't have a way of capturing either. So, or streaming either for that matter. What's my thoughts on the Saga games? I still haven't played many. I think I might have played a little bit of Final Fantasy, the Game Boy ones. Final Fantasy Legends. Yeah, I think I might have played a little bit of those, but I never got really far into them. Luke Williams, is Xenosaga in the game collection? So I'm holding off on actually reviewing the Xenosaga games until I get Xenosaga 3. I want to review these games, especially so I can get into playing Xenoblade Chronicles. Nexu says, Xenoblade can be played without touching Xenosaga and is much more enjoyable to boot. Yeah, I know, but I still feel like I'm compelled to see where the series comes from. I'd like to see how series evolve over time, and I know that they're not directly linked, but I know that they are fundamentally linked on another level, you know? Pro Zeno asked, do I plan on playing Divinity Original Sin? So, guys, what is Divinity Original Sin? Is that a JRPG, or is that a Western RPG, or is that like... Because for some reason, whenever I hear Divinity Original Sin, like I get this image in my mind of a really generic looking Western action RPG, but I don't know anything about it. And that's just the impression that I get when I hear it also, but I really want you guys to tell me if this is something I ought to, look into. Tom says it's really good. It's a computer RPG, says love the snapper. Baldur's Gate style. Divinity is a Belgian series RPG. Oh, so it's a BRPG. Yeah, maybe I should look into Divinity Original Sin. Do you ever want to review any other Mana games? If you haven't played Legend of Mana, you will love it. Says Perry the Dactyl. Yeah, I do plan to. My plan right now is to, at some point, start with Secret of Evermore as a way to lead into the game that we didn't get, Seiken Densetsu 3, or Trials of Mana now, and then Legend of Mana. So that would be nice. Am I planning to play through Skies of Arcadia anytime soon? I do have a copy of Skies of Arcadia, and I do get a lot of requests. Maybe I should review that soon. Problem is... No? Never mind. There's no problem. I was going to say problem is getting a good signal out of my GameCube, but I can play it on Wii, and it'll look fantastic. You ever play God Eater 3? Basically, to answer a lot of questions about have I ever played this game or X game, if I haven't reviewed it, there's a very good chance that I've never played it. Because as I've been going through all of these games, all these 81 games that I've been playing through so far, I've reviewed a lot of the games that I wanted to play again from my childhood. There are a few games. There's probably another 20 or so games that I've played and gotten really far into that I never talked about. Actually, probably more like another 50, probably, because like all the Final Fantasies and stuff. So yeah, a lot of like the newer stuff, especially stuff that came out within the last 6 years. If I haven't reviewed it, I haven't played it, because I have no time to review or to play games that I'm not reviewing. So that's probably a little disappointing to hear, but that's how it goes with with YouTube channels. They take up a ton of time.